Alrighty, hello everyone. My name is Eli.
My name is Emerson.
Oh my gosh, wait, where's Tommy? Where did he go?
I ate Tommy.
Oh my god. Well, for those that don't know, this is our producer. Tommy is currently on a flight right now, so we're going to be having a little producer special. We're going to be going through the topics. And that really sucks for him because some really important and exciting stuff just happened.
Oopsies.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I can't swear. Oops.
Yeah.
You didn't hear that, guys.
You heard my
oh my goodness.
my very professional producer right
Listen,
here.
I'm not used to being on the radio, okay?
Well, you'll get used to it, and eventually, maybe Tommy will be producing.
Maybe. We just kick Tommy off.
Exactly.
Just be like, this is the Emerson and Eli show from now on.
Exactly. It's going to be us talking about politics. And speaking of, did anything happen last weekend? I don't know.
I'm not really sure.
Did a guy get shot? I don't know
think
which
so.
one.
I think it was that one orange guy who kind of looks like he belongs on a Florida orange tree.
Oh, maybe. I think he has a house down there.
Yeah.
Well, for people that have not heard, I'm sure everyone has heard.
There's
Trump,
no way that nobody has not heard about this.
Yeah, no, that's like Kennedy assassination stuff. There's no way.
Yeah.
Donald Trump had an assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, by around a 20-year-old male shooter. And he hit him from 130 meters away.
Okay, the thing is though, this is one of the points, like this whole surrounding like the assassination attempt or whatever, is like I've heard so much conflicting information, because I've heard that it was like from 130 like meters or yards, or then it's like 410 yards or meters, and I'm like, which one is it? Like, can we make up our mind at this point?
Well, I think it's really interesting because I have seen the photo of like the layout of the shooting and the building he was on. I think the 135 meters thing is correct because the building is not far from the stage. I mean, it's far enough that apparently he was able to climb onto the roof with an AR and take a shot, but it was not far. And I think there's been a lot of talk about, like, did the Secret Service fail in their mission? Like, what was going on? Because there was even videos of people in the crowd being like, there's a guy on the roof.
Yeah, like, there's, like, I've heard so many conspiracy theories about this and everything, too, just because, like, there was just so many like mistakes that the Secret Service had made. And like, I know that like, I think it was 30 minutes beforehand, I heard that like somebody had reported seeing him like walking around with a rangefinder. And then like, I know like 3 minutes beforehand, like I've seen videos of people who were literally like in the crowd, like pointing at him on the roof and like telling the police like, oh, there's somebody on the roof. And it's like, are you guys just not gonna shoot him? Like, you're only gonna shoot him after he fired shots? Like,
what are they doing? I saw this really funny like satire, like it was pretending to be an article where someone's just like, yeah, the Secret Service was talking about the upcoming Magic the Gathering cards, like the new release and everything. So I don't know what they were talking about. Maybe they're talking about sports, but that is such a failure. And then all of that just for a little nick to the ear.
No kidding. My favorite meme that I've seen going around is like, damn, where did they hire this guy? Temu?
Yeah, he's off of eBay. I mean, this is some dollar Discord assassination. They don't make him like Lee Harvey Oswald anymore.
No.
Just insane stuff. Just insane. I saw another graphic where the reason why he missed and hit Trump's ear is that Trump turned his head at the last second to look at the teleprompter.
I saw that too. Yeah, like had he shot like a half a second sooner, he would have like actually killed him, which is crazy. But like, no, like you said, like he just at the very last second like turned his head and he just nicked him in the ear.
Yeah, I mean, this is some insane stuff, some life-changing stuff. I think like January 6th, this is going to be like this is Gen Z's, hey, where were you when Trump was shot?
Oh no, 100%. Like, imagine though, like how different life would be right now had he actually got shot.
I think the entire conversation would be different. I think it'd be, I don't know.
That would have changed the entire election, especially like I know we're probably going to get into this later, but like especially if Biden would have stepped down, like then we would have had two completely new
Fresh.
candidates like months before the election. Like that would have just been a complete and absolute shot in the dark as to who you would have voted for.
Yeah, completely unprecedented, and not even in American history, but like election history. I don't think there's ever been that much of a shakeup in an election where two candidates out for the count. And you have to get new ones. But it was truly insane. I do you remember where you were? I think I was.
Oh yeah, no.
I had just woken up, and then I look over at my phone. I'm like, oh, it's just another morning. What's going? Oh, Trump shot. Like it like that woke me up in a second.
You know, I was sitting on the couch with my boyfriend Tavo, and he was just about to leave for marshal training for the March on the RNC, and like about. I want to say like 30 minutes before he had to leave, like he was just like, oh my God, like Trump just got shot. And we were just like literally sitting there watching it unfold like in live, live. And it was like, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think it made it worse the fact that I was a little hungover. I was a little out of it, and it's a weird thing to wake up to, after a night out. So I was just
exactly the best way to wake up.
No, it's an interesting way to wake up. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I think that really. Immediately I was just like, oh, the consequences of this, like, this really is, we've seen before when presidents survive assassination attempts, whether it's Ronald Reagan or before, it's a big, huge boost to their popularity and everything like that. So I was fully expecting, like, all right, we're Trump landslide, like, it's over, wrap it up, everyone, election's over. Dude just survived an assassination attempt, like, just run on that for the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, oh my God, the fist bump he did afterwards. I was like, what a goated move, but like, stop.
Our favorite Twitch streamer for this show, Hassan Abi.
Oh my God, yes.
He was literally saying, "Oh, he's clip farming. He's going for the most iconic thing he can do right now. He's pumping his fist."
Oh, 100%. He knew that was the right move.
Oh
like
my God.
He had like 30 seconds when he was on the ground, and I know 100% the entire time, other than his shoes, other than him worried about his shoes, I know he was thinking about, what am I going to do when I get up? And he was like, I'm going to fist bump and say, fight, fight, fight.
Yeah.
Oh my God, please stop.
The man's been on television. I mean, the man was on television before he was a politician. Like,
he knows what's going on.
Yeah, what better of a guy to be in that situation where it's like, I know where the cameras are going to be. I know what they want.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it's like, we don't like Trump in this show, we dislike him very much, but it did look cool. It unfortunately, to an unfortunate extent, looked cool.
As much as I don't want to admit it, it did look cool.
It
looked cool.
It really looked cool. And that's the main thing is, this is kind of a big boost. It really reinvigorated his base, really kind of pumped them up. When it comes to polling afterwards, it's very conflicted. I know for a lot of people that already don't like Trump, this doesn't change anything, and there's a lot of drama about making jokes about that assassination attempt, which we would never do on the show. We would never.
No,
we would never. We would never talk about dollar store assassination attempts. We would never say maybe go to Walmart, a better store, maybe order off Amazon Prime. I personally would never make jokes like that, but maybe someone would.
Yeah, Tommy would.
This is so unfortunate he's not here. Tommy would get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
But but it's really we're living through just such an unprecedented time. We have an assassination attempt. We have the Democratic Party in full revolt trying to replace Joe Biden as the nominee. It really has been honestly exhausting. I'm good.
Yeah.
I've lived through enough history. It's been a pandemic. It's been a recession. It's been everything. Wars, all that sort of stuff. When can we get off? Can we? Is the ride over yet?
Never. Did you hear that? Biden has COVID now.
Yes.
After getting vaccinated 6 times.
I know. It's like I said. Like can stuff stop happening? Can stuff stop happening? I'm now nostalgic for 2012 and the Obama days. I should not be nostalgic.
Real.
I should not be nostalgic for that.
Have you ever heard like I'm like a big conspiracy theorist, so I
All
will
right, all right.
100% bring conspiracy theories up all the time, but like
Mm.
have you heard like the conspiracy theory that like in 2020 like we just jumped timelines to be like the absolute most like chaotic thing ever?
Yes.
And I'm like, as much as I don't want to believe that, I unfortunately really believe that. Like with the way that like things have just worked out just like in the last like 4 years, I'm like, can we just stop? Like please.
Oh, my favorite is the theory that the timelines diverge when Harambe died in 2016. That's my favorite.
So
that
true.
that one gorilla dying really screwed us over.
That's what ended it all.
Gorilla dies, Bernie Sanders loses. Now we're here. Now we're here in this craziness.
Yup.
But the political implications of this are really insane. When it comes to the Joe Biden being forced out, I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, we're hearing like every day there's a new senator, there's a new congressperson, there's a governor basically saying he should step down. He doesn't want to. Nancy Pelosi, who I never thought I'd cheer for, is telling him to step down.
Yeah, like I mean, I know like I don't want him to step down, I guess in a way because like it's so close to the elections that it's like the person who is going to then like run isn't going to have like enough time to create like a I don't want those votes then to go to Trump. Like for the people who are on the fence to like then just go like, well, I don't know who this new candidate is. Like I'm going to vote for Trump instead. But like at the same time I'm like you literally need to be in a nursing home. For the love of God, like please get the hell out of the White House. Like I didn't even watch the presidential debate, like not because I wasn't interested in it, but just like I cannot sit there and watch Joe Biden for that long. I watched about like 3 minutes of it and I was like, I need to like I can't listen to it anymore. Like it's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, our little gang was going down to Chicago. Some of our friends and I were going down to Chicago. We were all on the train. Our friends Tolly and Charlie and myself were listening to it and watching it, and I had to turn it off. Charlie turned it off before me, and I had to turn it off. It was just really bad, and I think what we saw has just been something we keep seeing now. I mean, every day it's like the president of Ukraine, Vladimir Putin. Oh, I mean, we're gonna beat Vladimir Putin, and then you got, I'm sure Vice President Trump will do a good job. Like it's so obvious now.
Yeah.
Like the emperor has no clothes.
Yeah.
It is out there.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and like the thing is too is like it's getting to a point where he's just so desperate for votes too, and it's so clear that he's trying so hard to like get people to like him and get people to vote for him, and it's like he keeps like not taking a particular stance on anything, and like all of, like even like some of like the immigration policies and stuff, like he just kind of keeps like switching his mind on everything just to try to get some of those like middle of the road voters to vote for him, and I'm like, you've like kind of like screwed yourself over, my guy. Like
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you, especially with like the whole like Palestine thing and like supporting a genocide. Like the biggest basis that like helped him like win in was it 2016? I can't.
2020.
That's what I said.
You're only off for 4 years.
Only off a couple.
Good old Hillary Biden running for the presidency.
No, but like a lot of his voters were young voters, and that is kind of like what helped him win. And it's just like he doesn't have that support anymore either. And it's like, just please, just put somebody else, put anybody else in. I want to see. I know you guys talked about this on a like earlier show.
Are you gonna?
Whitmer.
I was about to say, are you gonna nerd out about Gretchen Whitmer?
Love Gretchen Whitmer more than anything. Like she was one of the first. Like I used to be like, it was just so like I came so 180. I went from being a Republican to being a socialist in like the matter of like 8 years. So, but she was like one of the first Democrats that I looked at, and I was like, wow, like I would vote for her. Like she is a strong, independent woman who knows what she's talking about, knows how to like. I would trust her to run my country. And
has some really solid track record when it comes to working class policies. Mm-hmm. Really, a rather progressive agenda and like record as governor. I would not be opposed, but I think kind of like addressing one of your previous things. It's like, how do you avoid those people that are gonna be like, oh well, Biden's gone. Like now, what do I do? And I think we all know Kamala Harris. She's already vice president. She's on the ticket. I think that's what's gonna happen if he does step down.
I would still have a really hard time voting for her though. Like she's just so not great too.
Yeah.
and like she just every time she talks, it's just what do they call it? Like a word salad.
Yes.
And it's like at this point, if we had to vote tomorrow, I would not be voting in the presidential election. I will be voting, locally, but like as of right now, I would not vote. And if Kamala Harris took that like presidential like a nominee, like I wouldn't vote still. Like I can't.
It would be really hard because, I mean, Kamala Harris, former, I think it was Attorney General of California, really bad record when it comes to imprisoning impoverished minorities for counts of, like, literally just having weed and drug possession, really, really strong, like, sentences at that. It'd be a hard one for me. I think, for people like you and I, that's definitely something where it's like, yeah, cool, better than Biden. I don't know. You have to convince me. But I think for a lot of youth, that would be a much better option. I think a lot of people would feel more comfortable voting for her.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had my way, open primary, get Gretchen Whitmer in there.
Absolutely.
Get my silver fox daddy, Gavin Newsom. I only want him because he's hot. Get those two in there. Have the best looking candidates, debate, and let's go from there.
My thing is too is like being a woman, like I really want to see that like women represent themselves more in like American politics. And excuse me, I just burped, guys.
For the listeners,
in case you didn't hear it. But no, anyways, but like being a woman, like I really want to see like a strong woman who can like, I mean, you're unfortunately kind of like operating in a man's world, and you need to kind of have that like mindset and be really set on like the things that you want, and like and there's a really I don't want to say like specific type of woman, but like a specific type of woman that needs to be in the White House. And like I just don't like, I would be almost a little like sad if Kamala Harris was the first like woman president of America. And like I'm not saying that
no.
I just don't think she would do a good job.
Yeah.
I just much as I don't want to like oop on women, but like I'm gonna oop on her.
And we're not supposed to swear on this show.
Sorry.
Yeah, but no, I agree. Guys,
I'm gonna get sued.
yeah. This is the first producer special.
This is so bad.
but
no, and I feel like Gretchen Whitmer would do just such a better job of just representing America. And
No,
like
she
that's
would.
another thing too with like trying to vote for Donald Trump is like I can't do it because he's just like had so many issues, and it's like it's embarrassing. It's in like like if I would go abroad and say like, yeah, I'm from America, like I would with Donald Trump or Biden as president, I would just feel so embarrassed.
It's just like embarrassing. I mean, Biden goes to like national summits, and there's always like kind of just him being an old grandpa. And it's really, as Americans, we've been handled this situation of, you want to vote for literally like Benito Mussolini, or do you want to vote for like a guy that can't remember where he is?
Yeah. Did you see? I think this was just on Twitter earlier today. Like he kissed some other random lady.
No, he was about to. He was about to kiss another woman. Thinking it was his wife, and his wife like rushed over Jill Biden, like kind of grabbed him. He's like, "Hey, Jill, how's it going?" Like it's
like just sad.
It's every day now. It's like every day, every week. There's a new moment, and no, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's like if, back in 2016 with Hillary, it's like that would be the first female president. Hillary Clinton, who, in all intents and purposes, is a ghoul, has held horrible positions. Quoting a very inspiring Scottish woman, when asked if Margaret Thatcher was good for women's rights, would you want that woman to be the one that's the first female prime minister of Britain? And I kind of feel the same way, where it's like, do you want Hillary Clinton, do you want Kamala Harris to be the first female first female president of the United States? And that's just hard to kind of wrap your head around. But I'd be so down for Whitmer. I mean, my support for Gavin Newsom at this point is a running joke, just because I mean, Google images Gavin Newsom, just it speaks for itself. But but yeah, no, I think that'd be great. We really live in a time. We really live in a politically complex and chaotic time where, both candidates, one is not ideal, one is basically evil, and now the American populace are in this chaos of one almost got shot, the other one refuses to step down despite his issues, and so what do we do?
Best case scenario, Trump get second assassination attempt, but this time they're successful. honestly just put both Biden and Trump on the stage and have them like standing at the side and just get, twofer, kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly. And for any of the FBI and Secret Service that are still in Milwaukee, you did not hear that. We disavow. We do not support this. This is old jokes. This is a political comedy show. We don't,
I promise I will not assassinate either
We're just
of them.
joking. We can be trusted to live in Milwaukee. We can be trusted around people in suits.
Well, you not so much.
Well, but yeah, it's honestly made me so jealous of other countries.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know if I'm a huge politics nerd, huge elections nerd, and in Britain they just had a landslide Labour victory, which is a center-left party with some socialist members in the party. Everything absolutely destroyed the conservative government. They're now prime ministers. They're talking about nationalizing the railways.
Weren't we like originally though, like, not to interrupt you, but like,
Yeah.
wasn't like originally like the thought was that like the conservative like right was gonna win too? Like, wasn't it? Unless I'm wrong.
No.
Because I thought that was the case with France at least.
Oh yes, that was France.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking
And then the
about.
left wing, our socialist comrades, they won huge, fantastic for them. And then in Britain, the center left party, which is nominally socialist, they call themselves socialists. They won huge. The Conservatives were expected to lose in a landslide, and they did, with Britain having over 400 seats in their parliament. With some concerning developments, I believe the far-right Reform Party, which even had some Nazi members running for office. They got 12 seats in parliament, their first showing. Nigel Farage, a far-right candidate, and the leader of the party is now in parliament. But so there's some ups and downs. Yes, the Tories are gone. The Conservative Party held a 14-year rule, 14 years straight.
That's
so
crazy.
there are 14-year-olds in Britain that have never known a government that was not conservative. Many for people for most of their life. That is now gone and is now a Labour center-left victory, and it's both good and bad. I'm sorry. I'm so much of a nerd on this, but
It's okay.
But they talked about nationalizing the railways, which is fantastic. I'm all for nationalizing public utility. We could use that in America. If you went up to someone in America and said nationalize the railways, like Amtrak and all that, they'd call you communist. So that's a huge step. In general,
are communists.
Yeah, we are. Well, they don't know that. But that's a huge step, and but it comes with the bittersweetness where when it comes to being trans, gender fluid, all that sort of stuff in Britain right now, it's really hard. And one of the things that recently came out is Labour supporting banning puberty blockers for trans youth, which is, a major step back in trans rights in Britain. So you got to take with the good with the bad. Thankfully, the former leader of the Labour Party and avowed socialist, Jeremy Corbyn, after being kicked out of the Labour Party in this big kind of like right-wing kind of like coup of the party, won as an independent in his candidacy, which is a huge thing to celebrate. He's going to be a major voice in Parliament, really kind of pushing back on the centrists and kind of holding them to account, especially when it comes to trans rights and all these issues. So looking forward to that, but it's a bittersweet victory. It's one that, I hope we replicate here. I would like to see maybe, some sort of thing like that, but it's everywhere we see the struggle for the far right against the center left.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we have a little bit of time left, and I know I wanted to talk about the March on the RNC, not to kind of change topics here, but like,
who was at that? I don't know who was all at that. Were we at that? I don't remember.
We were at that. Well,
it's all a big blur.
I was very fortunate where I got to do press for it. Got to take lots of pictures and be in like press conferences and stuff. So like that was a really cool experience, and like just kind of I guess being more like on the outside of it versus like the inside of it, and like it was a lot of like I don't want to say fun, but it was fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, first time in this format and the first time doing this, so co-host interviewing co-host. How was that experience, Emerson? What did you like when you showed up? How big was that crowd? What was that like?
There was like thousands of people. Like I remember at one point, me and one of the guys that I was with, like who's like I guess like my assistant photographer at the time, we went up to like a parking, like on the top of like a parking structure when you guys were like walking up. I think it was like not Van Buren, but like some Velar Phillips like street or something like that, and like the entire like march took up the entire street. Like it was
Wow.
just packed with people, and like there were so many great chants, and it was just like it was honestly really impressive to see that many people come together and that many people just be so like it was so peaceful too. Like we pushed for it to be like a family friendly march, and it was a family friendly march from start to finish. Like it was a really great time.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. I mean, I unfortunately had to work that day. I was actually catering for those weirdos that day.
Do you want to tell your Liz Truss story?
Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay, we'll wait.
But yeah, no, I showed up at the tail end of it. Just a massive amount of people at Red Arrow Park, is it called?
Yep, Red Arrow Park.
And I saw you guys marching back, and just the enthusiasm, the hope, just the positivity of the entire thing. Got to see all of our friends running around in nice vests. Got to see your press vest. It was just an amazing event.
Not to like brag, but I looked really cool.
You did look really cool. Oh my god! Like you and Tavo, all of you guys looked so cool. Here I am in my catering outfit. Like, hey guys, how's it going? How was it?
They got to I can't say that on the radio. Never mind.
The producer's getting used to the rules. Don't mind. Don't worry.
You got to serve Republicans for the morning.
I got to serve some fascists in the morning, and then I got to protest them for a little bit afterwards. So it was.
Did you see the anti-protesters too?
Yes. Oh my god, the
counter-protesters. That's the word.
They were They were weirdos.
They were kind of funny though.
They were funny. Oh my god, there was a guy with a big banner, and it was very Islamophobic, very racist. But it had this like a Middle Eastern guy in a dress who was actually serving. Looked so good, and we just
he did though.
He became an inside joke because it's this Islamophobic sign like, do you want this in your cities? And we're like, oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Bring more men in dresses.
The funny thing was too is that like some like gay guys went up to like the very homophobic, very racist protesters and just started making out in front of them, and then they go, monkeypox super spreaders. I was like, yes, that has also become an inside joke.
Yes, it has. I mean, of all the things that you could really pull out when like two gay guys are making out in front of you, like I was like, AIDS, maybe some other stuff. Like as a queer man, as a queer person myself, that's what my mind would jump. But monkeypox super spreader.
Monkeypox
insane.
Super spreader.
But okay, I'll tell the story because it is really funny. So for all of our listeners, I was catering for the Republicans downtown. And so I was at an event. I set out all the food, and we were running late. And a little reason why that is Mitch McConnell, who was in attendance, his staff lost him.
How do you lose Mitch McConnell?
Well, I think they're so used to the guy freezing up. They're so used to him being just this decrepit old man that when he was actually where he needed to be, they thought he was somewhere else, which is super funny. I would love to be a fly on the wall of that poor intern who was sprinting around our building. So
isn't it like 32 floors?
Yes,
too?
Yes, yeah.
Imagine losing one person amongst 34 floors. Or 32. Oh my god.
It was insane. So we had to delay serving, and I was like, okay, well, that's fine. And Liz Truss, the former prime minister, comes up to me. It's like, okay, can I get some food? I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, Prime Minister. You can't have some food. And she's like, okay. And she walks past me, picks up a grape, eats it, looks me in the eye, and then just scampers away. And I'm like, oh, the finest conservative minds.
I can't. That is the funniest thing ever.
It was just weird. All those people are weird. Yep. Just to know that the people in power, the people that are going to be deciding, your future and your lives, are the weirdest people that you will ever meet. Yep. And if they did not have money and power, they'd be shoved in lockers. Yep. And I got to hear a lot of that during that time. And I really just thought to myself, Emperor has no clothes. Yep. These guys are silly, silly people. Yep.